Hi everyone, I am Veetsa Patni. I am a qualified chartered accountant by profession, and I hope we all are keeping safe in these times, in these difficult times. But considering that technology has brought us closer and we are able to share our expertise, our knowledge with you all, this time CS Ansar and Vivek Khurana sir has thought about a well thought series on international tax and transfer pricing. These would be sessions which would where we would be taking you through various concepts and various terminologies on transfer pricing and international tax. So this session would be basically on the basics and terminologies which we should know before getting and jumping into the details about transfer pricing and international taxation. Let's see what are the points of discussion for today's session. It would be a basic, brief overview of what exactly is transfer price, what exactly is arm's length principle, what exactly is arm's length price, whether both of them are different or not, or how to compute them. We will also be discussing regarding the International Body Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, which now from now on we'll be terming it as OECD. I'll be also taking you through a very brief overview of OECD's BEPS project, which is Base Erosion Profit Shifting Project, which has numerous action plans, and we'll take you through all of these action plans in the later part of the series. Then, considering that we are focusing on Indian transfer pricing, I'll be taking you through that when exactly transfer pricing was started in India, exactly cup transfer pricing as a concept was thought upon that it should be brought in India and laws should be made to measure and to compute the right transfer price. Indian Income Tax Act 1961, Chapter 10 talks about the sections pertaining, which are the core body of transfer pricing, which are the series starting from section 92 to 92F. Briefly, we'll be introducing that to you today. And lastly, but not the least, I'll be also telling you how India has adopted BEPS action plan to realign itself, with the global economy today, and to bring its standard practices, its economic practices in alignment with whatever practices have been adopted globally throughout the world. So let's get started. This is Firstly, I'll just give you a brief example, and then through that example, we'll understand further what is transfer pricing. Say, even if we are not today aware about anything about transfer pricing or international taxation, but we are very well aware about that what are the foreign companies. There are so many foreign companies working in India. बहुत सारी ऐसी companies हैं, बहुत सारे brands हैं which we know are a part of some foreign counterpart or are a part of some foreign country, foreign parent, which is outside India. Say, for example, Sony India is a company and which is whose parent is residing in Japan, Sony Corporation Japan. Otis. Many companies today, because of the globalization of economy, are working in India, and their parents are residing outside. And vis-a-vis, many Indian parents have also opened companies in other foreign jurisdiction. So let's say there's a company in India, ABC India Private Limited, whose parent is ABC PTE Singapore. Now, when this company, ABC India, does any transaction with the ABC PT Limited, with this entity which is its parent, because these two companies are related, how are they related, what defines related party, what defines associated enterprises, we'll all discuss that in detail. The laws governing all of that, we'll discuss that in detail. But for now on, to be easy for reference, say if these two companies are doing business with each other in this global economy, these prices, the price of this transaction, is basically subject to transfer pricing. So, whatever sale of goods ABC India is doing to ABC Singapore today, and whatever consideration it is receiving, whatever price it is receiving from ABC Singapore will be a transfer price. This terminology has been given to the entities which are related, which are associated with each other. I will tell you why this concept was so crucial to be brought about. Say if today I have a company, I have a business, and I say manufacture cloth, and I have to sell that cloth, say, to my father. I am selling that cloth, say, 100 rupees meter to in the market, but because he is my father, he has an influence over me. He can very easily say, okay, give it to me at 80 rupees per meter. Why will you sell it to me to at 100 rupees per meter? So I'll say, okay, take this discount and I'll sell it to you on 80 rupees per meter. Now the loss of 20 rupees on my revenue is actually the basic reason why transfer pricing was introduced, so that this probability and possibility of influences on prices reduces, and whatever transaction happened between this controlled environment is vis-a-vis, is same, is similar to whatever this similar transaction would have been happening in an uncontrolled environment where these entities might not have been related. These transactions are basically called intercompany transactions, because these transactions now represent a very significant portion in the international trade. Globalization, the economy is getting integrated, complex. That is why taxes on these transactions becomes a very crucial point and very crucial discussion point for the taxation laws. Now, just to reiterate the fact that what these transactions would have been and why TP is crucial, let's go through this example, very easy example. Say ABC India Private Limited is the Indian company, and its parent is residing in Singapore, ABC Singapore. Now it sells some of the goods to ABC Singapore. ABC Singapore uses those goods in the final products and sell those products to the final customers in the market. Now, when the sale of goods happened, say the cost of the good was 10 lakh, ABC India incurred a cost of rupees 10 lakh. It sold the goods at rupees 12 lakh, making a profit of 2 lakh. Tax rate in India being 30%, it paid a tax of 60,000. Right now, I am ignoring everything on forex or on currency, because let's keep the example very very easy to refer right now. So I have ignored all the currency and forex. Now, say the sale happened at 12 lakhs, it became a cost for ABC Singapore. It became a cost, it added some value of 2 lakh. 12 लाख पे 2 लाख दोबारा से एक वैल्यू कुछ ऐड हुआ, उस गुड्स पे कुछ काम हुआ. Then the final sale happened at, say, 15 lakh to the final customer. Now, tax rate of Singapore to be assuming to be assumed to be at 20%. 20,000 रुपए का टैक्स सिंगापुर ने पे कर दिया on a profit of 1 lakh. Total tax paid by this whole MNE. MNE means multinational enterprise. This is a whole. These two entities are a part of one multinational enterprise. We can say ABC Group. So the total tax paid by this ABC Group is 80,000, which is 20,000 plus 60,000. Now let's see another example, but with some changes in the prices. What happened now? Singapore, being the parent of ABC India, it asked, it planned about the transfer price, and it said, don't sell it to me on 12 lakhs, sell it to me on 11 lakhs, because I am your parent, I have a hands on, I have a control on you, and whatever prices I will tell you, you have to agree to it. So sell it to me at 11 lakhs. India's profit, ABC India's profit, marginally reduced to 1 lakh. The taxes reduced to 30,000. Singapore cost reduced to 11 lakh. Thus the profit, keeping everything else same, the profit increased to 2 lakh. जहाँ उसका प्रॉफिट 1 लाख था, वहाँ अब उसका प्रॉफिट 2 lakhs हो गया. Just because of manipulation on this price. Now, the tax at again 20% assumed rate, the tax paid by Singapore in Singapore jurisdiction is 40,000. Total tax for the MNE now reduced to 70,000. जहाँ उसका टैक्स 80,000 था, just because of the manipulation and planning on this price, the total tax reduced to 70,000, and India lost a marginal share of 30,000 on its tax. This is basically tax base erosion. To avoid this influence on the prices, transfer pricing was introduced in India also. Transfer pricing was globally introduced so that each jurisdiction gets its share of proper and fair part of taxes. Very easy to understand right now with these examples, but these definitions, what all covers as a part of associated prices, what all are the international transaction, how are these international transactions evaluated, we will take you through very gradually and very easily in the later part of the series. Right now, let me tell you something about OECD, which is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. This organization is basically an intergovernmental organization. All of its members are developed economies. You would be thinking that then why India is, still an emerging economy, it's still a developing economy. So why are we talking about OECD as of now? OECD is a global body which is at work, which was, it's a forum. It's a forum to cooperate, to exchange ideas. Why? To bring about a standardization in the taxation environment and the whole economy of the world. To make sure that the businesses are working with a sustainable economic growth. All the jurisdictions are having their fair share of taxes with them, and there is no manipulation of prices due to any influence on any kind of transaction. These timelines are very important, which I've highlighted here. 1995 May, OECD first time introduced transfer pricing guidelines because it thought that with the emerging economy, the world would get smaller, and due to globalization, there would be so many complex business models which will come up eventually. आज मैं घर पे बैठी हूँ, but that is not limiting me or my business or anything which I want to do. Sitting at home, I can still sell my goods, say in US, say in Singapore. Why? Due to technology, due to my reach towards each and every jurisdiction while sitting at home. So in 1995, OECD thought about bringing about transfer pricing guidelines for the first time, while in 2006, transfer pricing was identified as a very major concern and very major issue to be catered to be addressed to. OECD thought that many laws and many rules should be brought about because this transfer pricing was getting increasingly complex day by day. 2010, the TP guidelines were revised, and 2017, this is the major part and the major year we should all remember if we have to go about and study in detail what transfer pricing guidelines are, because OECD introduced BEPS project, which I told you is base erosion profit shifting. To avoid base erosion profit shifting, this project was introduced by OECD in 2015. Considering many new concepts and many new issues and concerns were raised by OECD in that project, due to that, the guidelines needed a complete revamp again, because transfer pricing, again, as I'm reiterating, again and again, that it has become a very complex issue. Each and every transaction needs an evaluation. So for that, OECD brought out the revised guidelines. I would like to iterate on one fact that India is not a member of OECD. इंडिया सिर्फ ऑब्जर्व करता है, इंडिया सिर्फ ये देखता है कि ओईसीडी ग्लोबली क्या प्रैक्टिस इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहा है, सो दैट व्हाट steps it should take in its standard practices, what steps it should take and what new kind of rules and regulation it should bring about अपने taxation scenario में, so that India also is aligned with this BEPS project. It also gets benefits. It also gets its own fair share of taxes for whatever transactions and exchanges the Indian companies are doing with their foreign counterparts. I hope we are gradually getting little bit hands-on on what international taxation would be and how it was introduced and why transfer pricing is very important in today's taxation scenario. One thing, we know that there are two kinds of taxes: indirect taxes, which includes customs, GST. Then there is direct tax, corporate tax, which includes your return filing, your TDS, your advance tax, everything related to your corporate taxes. This, though being transfer pricing being a part of the direct tax, is completely a different and a very complex dynamic within the direct taxes. So I would say it's completely another kind of tax. And to study that, we should know what is happening around the world, so that to have a perspective of what exactly our tax laws say, why exactly they were introduced, and what steps are the global economies taking, and how they should be realigned with our own jurisdiction. I have also captured a small screenshot of the OECD transfer pricing guidelines, which were introduced, which were revamped in 2017. These are the guidelines which are very easily available on the OECD website. Anybody can go click on the OECD guidelines and they can take out the PDF and read through. I have taken a screenshot right now for the arm's length principle, which is defined in chapter 1. I would just read through two of the important points, and you will get an idea. आपको पता लगेगा कि exactly these guidelines बता क्या रही है हमें. It says that, you know comparability analysis is the heart of the application of arm's length principle. मतलब मेरी जो ट्रांजैक्शन दो कंट्रोल्ड एंटरप्राइजेस के बीच में हो रही है, अगर वही ट्रांजैक्शन एक अनकंट्रोल्ड एंटरप्राइजेस के बीच में होती, एक अनकंट्रोल्ड एनवायरनमेंट के बीच में होती, से एबीसीडी इंडिया वुड हैव ट्रांजैक्टेड विद पीक्यूआर सिंगापुर, then what exactly would have been the prices then? हो सकता है तब 11 lakh 12 lakh cost नहीं होती. It might have been basis some other market scenario, say 13 lakhs. So this comparability analysis is the body, is the core of your arm's length principle. Arm's length का मतलब है nothing which is manipulated. Even if you are related to me, we are at arm's length. We are at fair distance, and whatever prices are to be decided upon would be basis the market forces, and not what you influence or what influence you have on my prices. So the guidelines clearly state that there are two key aspects in such analysis. The first aspect is to identify the commercial or the financial relations between the associated enterprise. Gradually, you'll get to know what this is talking about. For now, let's keep it easy. First aspect is to know whether the enterprises are associated or not. And the second aspect is to compare the conditions and the economically relevant circumstances of the controlled transaction. As I mentioned, कि जो transaction एक controlled environment में हो रही है, how and till to what extent it is similar to the similar transaction happening in an uncontrolled environment. This is how the guidelines look for each and every small part of transaction. On in every concept, the guidelines are given how you should go about in measuring those arm's length price, and how you should go about in evaluating that particular transaction. I would just briefly touch upon the BEPS project, because it would be very important in future. We would feel easy to know the concepts if we know a brief idea about the BEPS project. See, today there is no physical nexus required to carry on a business. कोई भी ऐसा ज़रूरत नहीं है कि मुझे अगर यूएस में बिजनेस करना है तो मुझे यूएस जाकर ही बैठना पड़ेगा. Anybody, any company, any business can reach you at any point of time through any medium, say Google. You do not need to sit here and do any research work regarding US and go to that US jurisdiction and then do your work. Everything has been brought to you at your place, at your footstep, by through internet, through technology. I today have to buy any say any foreign product. I do not need to go to that foreign company. I do not need to go to ABC Singapore to find to buy ABC's product. Those products are available right here in India. So we are seeing that the physical nexus का मतलब होता है connection. एक physical boundary से बाहर आ चुका है business. There are no boundaries to do your business, and that is where the taxes on these transactions become a very complex issue. Every jurisdiction wants a fair major share of taxes. Singapore might say that, I am selling the goods to the final customer, मुझे ज़्यादा tax मिलना चाहिए. While Indian government would say that मेरी company यहाँ पे मेरे resources use करके एक product, एक intermediate product manufacture कर रही है, which is being finally used by the Singapore company, तो ज़्यादा tax मुझे मिलना चाहिए. This debate is a constant complex issue. To curb on this debate, this OECD BEPS action plan was introduced, that the taxes and the income should be allocated to the jurisdiction basis the value creation, basis the contribution they are doing to that particular transaction, and how that contribution analysis is done, how those functions, how those far analysis is done. It's gradually we'll get to know, and gradually we'll understand. It's a very complex exercise, but right now this is enough for us to know that why BEPS was introduced, just to to normalize, to bring a standardized policy for transfer pricing. In India, the Finance Act 2001 introduced the concept of transfer pricing in India. Indian TP regulation, as I told you, adopt the concept of OECD guidelines, but do not copy paste it, do not follow it completely. Again, I would just keep the fact limited that OECD guidelines are just a guideline as a soft law, or something which India depends upon, but still Indian revenue authorities आज भी complete reliance नहीं डालने देते हैं OECD guidelines में. They come out with the contentions that this is not written in the Indian Income Tax Act. For example, for transactions like intra-group, for transaction like AMP, for transactions like intangibles. So OECD is just guiding through, and we are gradually aligning ourselves with the OECD TP guidelines. This is a basic chart on 92 to 92F series. Section 92 talks about arm's length price. Section 92A defines what is, how you define an associated enterprise, how are two enterprises associated. It gives about lot many conditions and lot many parameters to check that how two enterprises can be concluded to be associated enterprise. Section 92B basically talks about international transaction and deemed international transaction and how these transactions are evaluated. Section 92C talks about calculation of arm's length price. There are methods to calculate arm's length price. We will gradually talk about all those methods and how and when they are used. Section 92D talks about the documentation which need to be maintained, the transfer pricing report, which is the core body and which is the core documentation which needs to be maintained for any enterprises, incurring any international transaction. 92E talks about the compliance you have to take, and you have to file a Form 3CEB, which is called the Accountant's Report, every 30th of November, which is the extended date as of now. And the 92 section, 92F, talks about various terms and various important terminologies which we should know, and which is completely very necessary for us to get ourselves acquainted with if we have to discuss or study further in the area of transfer pricing and international taxation. Before concluding this session, this is just a hit upon how India has brought about steps and how India is realigning itself, bringing about new initiatives um, in the Indian tax scenario. For example, Action Plan 13, BEPS Action Plan 13 के करके India brought about country by country reporting compliance, wherein we'll talk about that. It talks about the global presence of your group, where all the companies, your related parties are situated, and why it is needed. We'll talk about later, and gradually you get to know. Then it also has accepted and adopted the treaty renegotiations. Treaties are the double tax treaties, which are very important if any transaction, international transaction, has to be evaluated. That treaty Those treaties need to be renegotiated basis the market scenario which is currently right now working. So India has also adopted that and continuously is working towards it. मास्टर फाइल कंप्लायंस अगेन एक डॉक्यूमेंटेशन प्रिपेयर करना होता है। कोई भी एक एंटिटी को जो एक इंटरनेशनल ट्रांजैक्शन कर रही है, जिसका एक एमएनई ग्रुप जो एक एमएनई ग्रुप का पार्ट है, ये डॉक्यूमेंटेशन भी अब इंडिया ने मैंडेटरी कर दिया है बेसिस थ्रेशोल्ड लिमिट्स एंड बेसिस फ्यू ऑफ द पैरामीटर्स द एमएनसी हैज टू complete. Thin capitalization rules. This talks about the interest, the maximum interest which you can pay and claim a deduction of. It has also introduced equalization levy because of so many complex digitalization transaction happening. And it has also been a part of the multilateral instrument. And what are the steps because of multilateral instrument? It has been a very active part in all of these OECD's BEPS action plan and initiatives. Together, through these series, we'll take up one topic each, and I'll take you through the details of the same. Hope that you had little brief idea today about what transfer pricing is, what exactly international tax is, and how important it is in today's global scenario to know about these concepts. So this is from our side, from CA Sansar and from Vivek Khurana sir. This is a well thought series for all of you. Hope you tune yourself to us for these series in future, and have a great time going through these series. Thank you.